I first met someone named Karishma, who's now on our team, last year at last year's Vertigo's launch party, basically. And that was fine, and we friended each other on Facebook, and we thought, okay, well, we're never going to talk to each other again, but we had a nice night. And then we met again at the info night that last year's Vertigo team hosted. And then she invited me to this group chat called Vertigo, and we formed a team, and I was just like, oh, this is a little bit too much effort. Am I really capable of handling this? Which is a question I still ask myself every single day. And very few times in my life has like so little effort paid off so much. So I'm just kind of like, I'm going to treasure that a little bit while I have that. So Vertigo Revealed is a sort of once per issue documentary short that we'll be doing throughout the year. So we want to take you behind the scenes and give you a look at what the actual process of making a magazine is. So after the handover meeting, when we essentially first met each other and became Vertigo 2020, the team, we had to make a whole lot of decisions up front. Like, what do we want our values to be? And we decided we wanted the magazine this year to be very accessible and compassionate and inclusive. And then we spent a very long time, we had to make decisions about our budget and what our masthead looked like. And we went through so many iterations trying to get the masthead. So after we make all of those slew of decisions and we've decided on the issue themes, how many issues we wanted to have for this year, we put out call-outs on Facebook. Hey, please submit. Submissions will be open for 3 weeks, and this is the sort of stuff that we're after.
Well, first thing is like research and inspiration side, like looking at other magazines that I like and seeing what they do and like how they put their headings next to the body text and like what type of relationships they have there.
So it involves a lot of like browsing Pinterest, to be honest. I really look towards other designers' work to kind of inspire my own, because I feel like as a young designer, like everything we learn is like through others, right? And it's only when I think it was Pablo Picasso who said this, like great artists, good artists copy, but like great artists steal. And like I feel like I apply some of that philosophy into my own work, because like how do I know what is good work? I don't look at good work.
And then once I have an idea, I will present that to the other designers, because feedback's really important. And then if they say, yes, this is working, this isn't working, I work from there. And then once I have like the basic layout, like black and white text, like images are just like very bad drawings or just like a square, then you can start playing with like colors and textures as well. Yeah.
You design a magazine in InDesign, which is, as a beginner, like a really like foreign tool to use. It's very hard to get used to, but after a few years of practice, it has to become your best friend if you're a graphic designer. But so that's like the main tool, I guess, in today's world.
At first, like we all had our own ideas of Metamorphosis, but we discussed it as a group, but even within the discussion, we all had our own interpretation. So we started like out here, and then as we worked through with each iteration, getting more feedback, like, oh, I don't think that's quite a reflection of like our current style. We've changed things, and then slowly we've built this like a lot stronger aesthetic.
So during the handover meeting, the 2019 team told us about a conference that they went to at the beginning of the year in Melbourne, and this was the news conference. So it's for student publishers, and it was a great way for them to bond as a team and really sort of get to know and understand what they wanted to do with the magazine. At the end of January, we had our tickets booked and we flew out. right next to the campus where the conference was being hosted. Sign in and then attend your sessions. And so the sessions would last about an hour and a half, 2 hours, like 1 hour typically.
As a designer, it was really interesting because a lot of it was like editorial based and to do with being a writer and how to talk to writers and relationships with that. And so being a designer, I didn't really know that much about that side. So that was really interesting, but it was also cool because they talked about like the different relationships that you have to have with people and how you have to be able to compromise and stuff, which I think having a team of so many people, and especially to have so many designers with different opinions, that was really useful, like how to work with other people who might not always share the same vision as you. Yeah.
So you like these furs, Sophie?
I'm a big fan of these furs.
So after the student body submits during submissions period, then our magazine essentially goes through stages of drafts, and we call these drafts proof. So we've got the editor's proof, the pre-proof, the print proof, the final proof, and then eventually we end up with a magazine.
A design proof is where you have a look at like your design for the magazine, and it's pretty much where you like read over everything and have a look at the overall design and see if there's any mistakes or any things that like need to change, or see if like any like things have slipped past your like attention. Just like little odd things that you probably wouldn't notice if you weren't like an editor or a designer, like double spacing in between words or like misspelled words, or maybe sometimes like a design is like not really contributing to the legibility of the piece.
I think my favourite memory from Melbourne is like when we finished our final proof, I think, and that just feeling of like relief. Like this is such a long process. We've been doing it since December, and like now it's finally done. We're like in the last stages, and it's just like overwhelming like, happiness that we but you know, jumping over this last hurdle.
So usually at the end of the holiday, there's a sort of great sense of like, oh, we've been on an adventure and now we can go back to normal life. But we sort of didn't have that because we had to immediately send the magazine off to print. I heard rumors about these mysterious all-nighters at the designer's pool just to like do all of the changes that we had insisted they make at the proofing session. So after the conference, we pretty much immediately get to the airport and have to fly home and then have to complete the magazine. And the next morning, the designers that are at the SOS printers just making those changes, being like, yeah, oh no, I forgot to fix this in my 2 a.m. designing sesh.
At that point, like there has to be no mistakes because every page that you want to correct is expensive to correct. We've made our fair share of mistakes, but yeah, that's the final step, and after that it just goes straight to print. It goes into production, into production.
I think as a designer, like my own style is very simplistic, very restrained, and being a part of the Vertigo team has made me like embrace like more of like the crazy side of design, I guess.
Like designing a magazine with other people has definitely been like quite a learning curve for me, because previously like I really only designed like individual projects. But basically it's all about compromise and communication, and also just like making sure that everyone's like ideas are heard and everyone feels like their ideas are valued, and just making sure that you kind of work with your team instead of against them, and sort of also asking for feedback and asking for help when you need it.
It feels cumulative, the change. Like there's been so many little changes and so many things that I've had to do to sort of get my life in order just so I can make this work. And I was chatting with one of our editors, Sunny, the other day, and we realized that we only started this like in November. Like that's when we became Vertigo 2020. Like we've been doing this for 4 months. It feels like we've been doing this for 5 years.
Metamorphosis to me is sort of more about the process of change. It's not necessarily the beginning product or the end product. It's the process of learning and transforming and kind of becoming in a weird way.